Hello, Joanna. This is Peter, aka Wacko, from Team Front Row. I decided that rather than trying to explain it in writing, that it would be better if I made a commentary for you. So I hope this clears up any confusion you might have as to why we made our video the way we did. You notice when it first starts up that it has the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers music, but it's done by a garage band. They hear that music and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, that sounds like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then, of course, the screen lights up and there the Rangers are. This episode was specifically chosen for what it is. It's called Forever Red, and it features 11 of the Power Rangers from the last 10 years. Knowing that I was dealing with people of all ages, I knew that every single one of them had watched Power Rangers as a kid. It's inevitable. It's like watching Barney and Sesame Street and things like that. Also in this scene, this is the briefing room, and they're literally doing what the book is suggesting. They are getting together and talking about their problems and possible solutions to them. In this case, they do come to a consensus without needing an outside source. However, later on, the Ninja Turtles come in, and I was going to say that that's the outside source for this. You are not a fan of Rangers, so you might think when you see this that this would just be like random clips put together to just try to get this project done. But what it really was an excellent example of team building, problem training. The Rangers never really train. You know, they always it's always on the job training. But ignoring that, what you have is exactly what the book is describing. You have a bunch of people from different backgrounds coming together and trying to solve a common problem. Nothing's more clear-cut than monsters trying to destroy the world. The leaders of individual teams coming together and not just team members themselves. I think that's really fitting with the book too, because we're talking about pretty much managers here, managers of subdivisions of teams that are coming together and trying to solve problems. This right here is an excellent example of them working together. I know that sounds corny, but they really are. Every single one of them's got their own unique morphing signature. They're all going to give each other the chance to get that done. And it also shows everybody together in a way that grabs the attention of the audience. Again, this is from 10 years of Rangers, so there's got to be at least one Ranger that you recognize in this sequence. At this point, you'll notice that the Ninja Turtles come in, and that's because they really were in Power Rangers. They've been watching it. Technically, this is a different episode now, but you really can't tell except for the Rangers aren't just red now. This, again, is an attention grabber, but it also shows different teams working together. You can't get much different than Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. By the way, when I was describing this to you in class, I was using the word Sentai rather than Ranger. That's the original name for these groups. It's a Japanese word, and it means group or team. Specifically used here, it means a group of 5 people that escalate a problem with giant robots and things like that. But more traditionally, it's like a task force in the military. The passages we talk about in the book also talk about how these particular team building exercises work really well for those kinds of teams. So I think that's fitting too. You'll notice there's a countdown timer, and this was put in because we noticed when people were doing their presentations that they were going way longer than they needed to. We wanted to be very succinct. We wanted to say what we needed to say, and we wanted to do it in the minimum time possible. So it counts down from 5 minutes. This is to let the audience know when this video is going to be over. There's a lot of weirdness happening. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of things popping up on the screen. And you notice that nobody was heckled. Nobody's like, is this done yet? And that's because they knew exactly when it was going to be over and when they could ask their questions. This entire time, the bullet points have been popping up on the bottom of the screen. This is to let people correlate what they're hearing with what's on the screen, and also just in case there were audio problems, and let it follow through so people knew, hey, when I mention this from the book, this is what's going on with them at the same time. One last thing I'd like to cover is from the rubric. It does mention that there needs to be eye contact and gestures, and since I'm showing this to you a second time, I just want to remind you that when we went out to talk to the audience before we showed the video, we did make eye contact, hand gestures were used. We did let them know that we had a video prepared so that they wouldn't have to hear us just talk about these facts. We had something that was a little bit more entertaining. After the video was done, we did the same thing. We came out, said, see, you know, this is what we mean by team building and problem solving, and we answered any questions people had. More importantly, the very beginning and ending of your rubric mentions that it needs to be stunning, and I seriously argue that that's what it was. With every other video we showed, there was clapping, yay, that's over, I'm so glad you did that, hooray. With us, it was not much. It was like golf clap, golf clap. I would say that was because they were literally stunned. What they saw versus what they expected to see was so different that they didn't know what to say. That was both at the beginning and the end, so
I want to argue strongly that this is a 100% project. It's not something I say lightly just so, hey, give me a grade. We really put a lot of thought into this. We talked about what we should use. The rest of the team did trust me when I knew what clips to grab, because they're not as big a Sentai fan as I am. But together we decided that this is the best example that we could find. Well, that in the Office, but everybody was already using the Office, and we didn't really like that show, so we wanted to be different. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions, please email me at wacko@wackomedia.com. Thanks for your class. It was quite interesting. Have a good day.